Hi, today is Monday, May 3rd, and this is my ninth video on learning how to animate. My emotions for the project after entering this second part of the project is mostly excitement, but I should also say I have a little insecurity about myself because I don't know if this will end up looking correctly since I have no other guidelines. And apart from that, I feel pretty good about myself and what I've done up till now. I can really see the progress I've made, especially when I look back at the first videos and the first stuff I did. I can see how far my animation skills have gone, and I think I've actually improved a lot. The difficulties I had with the project have been mainly on working on the motions themselves and how the different points of contact with the floor and the movement of the body works from one pose to the other one to the final pose. And it's mostly been difficulty finding any good source for the movements. I've had to sometimes look at myself, how I look like, ask my brother for some help so he can perform the motions. And it's mostly been that's the only part I've been struggling with. The actual moving of the character has been a pretty smooth project. This being a much easier to use rig and model, I think I've had pretty good experiences with it. So I just have to say it's mostly been about the movement of the body. For this second part of the project, I haven't had any sources to say. I've only used my own self and my brother as models for this animations that I've been doing. It's pretty much been by my own brain and what I can think of. So I haven't used any internet sources. I've tried to look for some, but I've mostly come up empty. So that's pretty much it. Finally, I'll show you what I have done with my animation, and I'll walk you through to some of the changes I've done from the previous animation, and I'll roll the animation now. And changes from the previous animation are pretty large. I've done a good amount of work in this one. At least I've tried to. I added a moving platform below, so you can actually see some of the jumping. I got in the ending poses and the intermediate pose for the whole thing. The arms have a wide range of movement. It's pretty exaggerated, but it's the point of it. And I've added a lot of vertical movement and horizontal movement during the jump, and I pulled back on the actual distance and length of the jump. But I think I could easily change it so he can jump farther and much more, seeing as this is a more cartoony character and not very human. So I actually have another project I've been working on, and I'll show it to you in just a second. Working on my jumping sequence, I've actually worked on a bit of a punching sequence, or I don't know how you could call it. And so far I've done some pretty general motions. I haven't done that much, but I'll roll the clip and show you a bit. I think I'll put in more work on this animation after I'm done with the jumping one, polishing all the details. I'll also try to polish some of the details here, and maybe I'll lengthen it because so far I've only done 24 frame animations. I could work on adding a lot more frames because usually 24 frames equals to 1 second, but since I'm only learning, I'm mostly stuck with 24 frames, so I'll roll the clip. And right now I have some really general motions. I haven't gotten the quickness of an actual punch, and it's very sideways actually, and maybe I have to add some foot motions, and I think this will be a good project to work on after I'm done with the other one. So I'll work on it later, and that's it.